Grab your cocktail and get ready for this episode of the Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast. Welcome to the Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast, where we talk all things Freemasons while drinking an old fashioned. I'm Brian, and be patient. The old music video is coming out next. But what we want to do, we want to kind of remind you of where we're at. Several months ago, we had a clandestine member of an organization reach out and want to tell his story. Well, what happened on the podcast, as we do with all of our guests, we make sure that what's released is accurate. And not only did we discover some untruths about the guest, we started to really find out a lot of things about these clandestine organizations. So first of all, when we refer to Clandy or Clandy Man, it's not to any specific person. It's to the whole entire organization of clandestine groups. Don't mistake irregular or unrecognized with clandestine, right? Those are two different things if you're not quite aware of the difference, right? So here's some things that we discovered from these clandestine organizations. We probably have, easily over 100 different messages, emails, and other sort of documentation that has uncovered some of the nefarious things that have gone on in many of these clandestine organizations. Certainly not saying every one of them, but many. Such things from female members of sexual misconduct, from men confirming the same thing that go on in those organizations, hazings, beatings, paying for a 33rd degree anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. You'll see an interview released later about that specifically. So when we refer to the clandestine groups, right, we're referring to an entire organization. Several of the folks that comment trust us on our channel. Not all of the comments are positive, and they're not all from people that support the channel. A lot are clandestine members, right? So we're quite certain that there's a movement in these clandestine organizations that they don't like the channel and don't like that basically we're fighting back. The clandestine organizations have had a long battle with PHA, but never with, this channel. Again, I want to remind you, the clandestine group came to this channel looking for a platform, and maybe they got a platform that they weren't quite expecting, right? So I guess after all of this went on, we had a couple of comments recently come through, about a week ago. And, we're the Clandy Man, the Clandy guys, blah, 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 blah. So we were sitting there and decided, we need a little jingle, because apparently this wasn't a thing for this channel, right? We knew nothing about clandestine organizations, that it was really a thing out there. So we thought, it would be fun to have a little jingle, something that folks would remember if they were joining and whatnot. Side note, we have 12, sorry, I had to read a prompt here, 12 different people since this clandestine organization episode came out that reached out to us and said, hey, I was about to join, or I had started the process of being in these organizations, and they are out. 7 of these particular men have now petitioned into what we would call legit organizations. So good looking out. We hope that there's more of you. So the song that we put together, kind of fun. It's certainly not against any one individual. It's a fun parody, a satire of, if the Clandy Man would come seeking you for admission, right? We don't recruit. Maybe other organizations do, right? So we hope you enjoy the fun that we've had putting this together. It's embedded in this video. Also, there'll be a standalone out there. But at the end of the day, This has been a really enlightening journey, the whole clandestine thing, because again, this channel wasn't aware of anything like that. And as we've traveled across the country talking to different Masons, you have one group that's like, oh my gosh, it's been around, we've been part of it, it's a mess, thanks for pointing it out. The other side, we never knew it was such a thing, but as you've shared on the channel along with the Phylaxis Society, appreciate you guys, you're keeping it at the forefront. So what we're asking you, don't back down on this, these groups, because it's a problem for regular Masonry. If something goes wrong with these groups, they're just going to say Masons on the news. They're not going to separate these clandestine organizations. I will tell you, I'm going to tease you a little bit until more stuff comes out. We have spoke with 2 state attorney generals and 2 state secretaries of state. One particular state, we're being a little cagey here, these organizations are already on their radar. And we appreciate a lot of the input that we've got from members that are currently inside of the organizations that are sharing information. And we hope that they're sharing the information because they truly want to stop it. But I do think that some are sharing the information because they're terrified that when some of these organizations get hit, listen, not all 750 of these bogus Grand Lodges are going to hit. That's the reality of it. But a few of them are going to get really popped, and maybe that'll kind of slow this down. Guys, there's other paths. If you're in a clandestine organization, there are other paths. You've heard other guests on our show that have gone the other paths, and they've been healed over and come to recognize organizations. So with all that said, we hope that you enjoy our satire, our parody of the Clandy Man.
Say this, Brian, you're the first person that I know of, and I've been doing this 31 years, to actually have a platform and allow somebody to come on and tell the other side. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I have sent emails to other people, and I've been doing it for years. Yeah. And nobody even responded, right? So I appreciate you doing that. I also want to say that, man, I am a Clandy. Yeah, I listen. I am the biggest Clandy. I am super Clandy.
Who can fake a handshake? Claim he's something great. Pretend he's got a charter when he's sealing your fate. The Clandy Man. Oh, the Clandy Man can. The Clandy Man can, cause he fakes it with a smile and makes it seem worthwhile. Who can write a bylaw that no one ratified? Says he's got connections while he's living a lie. The Clandy Man. Oh, the Clandy Man can. The Clandy Man can, cause he tells you he's legit and hopes you fall for it. The Clandy Man makes promises so sweet, but all he really wants is your dues and receipts. He'll sell you ranks and jewels, call it history and rules, but his lodge is breaking all the Masonic tools. Who can hide his status? Claim he's non-profit bound. Why the IRS is asking why his tax form can't be found. The Clandy Man. Oh, the Clandy Man can. The Clandy Man can, cause he laughs it all away, chasing the real payday. The Clandy Man lies, claims he's recognized, tries to fool the world, but the truth just won't disguise. He's chasing power and fame, but it's all a crooked game. The Clandy Man is nothing but a Masonic shame. So don't fall for that handshake, don't pay him a single cent. The Clandy Man's a faker, every dollar is misspent. The Clandy Man, oh, the Clandy Man can. But a true Mason knows he soon will be exposed and never fool this land.